I didn't put time and money in, because I didn't have any of those things. I didn't have any money to do that, to have cars. So I always wanted them, but I never could have them. So let's see here. So anyway, I talked to my dad. I finally, I said, hey, I like cars, or let's get this car. And I found a 56 Chevy Delray post top. And it was for sale on the side of the road in Las Vegas. And so I talked my dad into getting it, And it was, I can't remember, I think he paid like $3,000, maybe, I don't know. But it was yellow and white and had Firebird Mustang seats. Firebird Mustang, that's not a thing. Pontiac Firebird seats in it. And then it had, and my hands are touching this, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? I'm like telling the story, and I can't figure out what to do next because I'm talking. Ah! All right. Okay, so this car was old and crummy, it was a project that somebody had kind of given up on type of thing. And it had Pontiac Firebird bucket seats in it, and a gear shifter from a Pontiac, and you could tell it was just somebody's project, and it was a pitiful shape. So we ended up getting it. I think we got it for a pretty good price, and my dad, he put up all the money. I didn't put up any money. But so we had this car, and it was my senior year of high school, and I took auto mechanics, and so I said, well, I'll do this, if we get this, I'll do all the work, and I'll be able to do a lot of the work at school, and it'll be a cool, fun thing we can work on together, and so we did, and it was cool, and we ended up getting it, and it had if I remember right, it had a 350 small block in it with a transmission that came out of that Firebird probably. And that just wasn't going to work. Or maybe, no, I know it had a 400 small block when I think it originally had that 400 small block. My dad could tell you. Put a comment in there, Dad. Tell us what it was. I'm pretty sure it was a 400 small block. So we ended up getting that and stripping it all down. Just took it all apart, and I took it to school and did all kinds of work on it. And ended up taking out the old brakes and putting in disc brakes, and my dad's putting up all the cash, and I did a lot of the labor, and we ended up working on it together occasionally and stuff. So it was pretty cool. And again, do I tell the story or do I work on the bike? It's like I keep getting in these ruts. I'm not accomplishing anything. I'm not finishing the story, and I'm not working on the bike. It's like, okay, here we go. I found something. I found that right there. Okay. All right, now that I have a goal and an objective, maybe I can finish talking. Okay. So we end up, and the goal was for me to get that thing and get it ready and take it to prom. And that would be cool, to take it to prom and be able to, have a unique car. Because back then, new cars weren't, muscle and heavy metal, the muscle cars and things like that, they weren't as popular with the younger crowd as they kind of are today. If you watch like Fast and Loud and different things on the internet, there's quite a few. I think there's quite a few younger kids who are pretty psyched about old cars like that. But back when I was in high school, that wasn't real popular. There's the guys in the auto mechanics, that they had them, but that's about it. So we got that car, and I remember, and if you watch the vlog I had about getting held up, you know, at gunpoint. If you haven't watched that one, put it right there. There you go. Click. That's what that one is. That's a 3-parter. That's a long one. But that's actually when I told my dad that happened to me. It was while I was working on that car with him. We had it in the garage, and we were doing stuff under the hood. And okay. That's when I was like, "Hey, Dad, you remember Candy?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think so. I think you did." Well, that's what, you know, I went to her house, and so I told him the story. And he told me he wouldn't tell Mom. Sorry, Mom. I guess I have to take the wheel off. It's been a while, and I've never done it on this particular bike. And when I did it when I changed the brakes on that bike over there, it has a drum, so different brake system. Alrighty. Slide that out. Oh, look at that axle. See how green that axle is? That's a good thing. Woo. I always make sure I take this apart every now and then when you're... Oh, and there goes the brake pads. They just fell on out of... Oh! Okay. There we go. Stay! Do not to move. So, good idea. You know, especially if you're a dirt guy. See all that grime and gunk? You want to clean that out before you put it back together. This kind of goes without saying, but you know. There's my spacer. The inside is nice and clean. That's what you like. That's the part that's rubbing on the axle. But the outside is very dirty. Look at that. That's South Carolina mud right there, probably. There's some Tennessee mud, and hopefully I'll get to go to some Kentucky mud and some Virginia mud. Love to get some Colorado mud on there. If you haven't checked out Colorado Dual Sport, he's pretty good. He's a new guy, worth watching. Pretty cool. Awesome, beautiful scenery he goes to, man. It's awesome. Being that I was born in Colorado, I'm a little partial, but you know. All right, so look at that. That is, ooh, that's just so thin. Yep, them needed to be changed a long time ago there, right, AMAP? That's what happens though when you buy a bike that is used. You just don't know when the last work was done, so you kind of guess and you kind of go based off the feel of how you're riding and whatnot. But there's a bullet up there in the piston. Probably have to push that piston back. Oh yeah, look at that mud. That's good. There's some grease mud. All right, so let's see. What other? Okay, I got a story for you about the car that I was talking about, the old '56 Chevy Delray post-op. I'm sure I got a picture of it, so I'll put it up there after it was. Of course, the picture I've got is of what it looked like when we were finished with it, not what it looked like when we got it. I don't think I have any of those pictures, but I'm sure my dad does. But anyway, so I get that car, and we get it back, and we get the brakes done on it, and like I said, I did that, and then we did all the other stuff. Ow! That's a license plate. Cut the back of my head, probably. That's all right. That's what happens when you're knuckle busting in the garage. Except I don't have a garage. So I told you about that girl Candy. Check out that vlog if you didn't. Then you'll know more about her. Anyway, so we kind of became a little bit of an item after that whole incident. We weren't necessarily like boyfriend and girlfriend, but we were interested in one another, and so we kept on seeing each other and dating and doing stuff like that. Ooh. And So she comes over, and I was like, you gotta see this car, and it's pretty cool. And she's like, oh yeah, that's a nice car. So I said, let's go for a ride. And so we take it out for a ride, and this is when it had a stick. It had a, I can't remember if it was a 4 or 5 speed. It might have been a 4-speed, but I can't remember what seats were in it at the time. But like I said, we got the brakes working and everything, and so I take that thing out, and of course I'm a guy, and I want to show off, and so I start squealing the tires and popping the clutch, and yeah, that was cool. That was fun. Because I couldn't do that on my car. The only way I could burn rubber on my car is if I pulled the emergency brake. And it wasn't really my car anyway. I was always have to beg Mom if I can borrow it. So, you know, I drove it, but it wasn't necessarily my car. And, so yeah, that car was cool. And showing off for girls, something you do when you're a teenager, at least if you grew up in the 80s and 90s. Don't know if they do that anymore. I think they come over and they go, hey girl, check out this phone. Isn't this a cool phone? I don't think they show off with their cars. I haven't hardly seen that anyway. Everybody's more interested in their smartphones than they are their cars or motorcycles. We're becoming old, guys. Becoming old and out of date. Alrighty, well, there's a knuckle busting garage. I've got to take the front off, but I'm going to put the rear back on so it'll balance out nicely. Thanks for joining me on the knuckle busting garage, and check out that old cool car. And when you watch Fast and Loud, know that it's pretty cool, but it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of crazy stuff, and it's a whole lot of money. Well, I guess I could tell you about that, what happened to that car, because my dad fully restored it when I went to Brazil for a couple years, and it was sweet, man. It had some awesome stuff on it. Hey, puppies! And he ended up, I think, pretty much the story goes, he ended up moving to Oregon. And when he was in Oregon, he had that car, and he took it to a Harley dealership to look at Harleys or something, and ended up trading it for a Harley, which is cool, because he rode that Harley all over the place. You know, if you watch, I don't watch all of Accidental Broadcast stuff, but one of his first vlogs, I was really impressed with one of the things he said. He put up a quote that says that 4 wheels move the body, but 2 wheels move the soul. So that's I'm going to steal that quote today. That'll be my quote for the day from Accidental Broadcast. He said it was from an unknown source, I believe, but if you haven't seen Accidental, check him out. He's in Hawaii. Pretty neat. All right, guys. Here's my new pads. I think those are the front ones. Pretty sure. So, catch you later. Thanks for the idea from Yama Joe, or Kawa Joe. And we'll catch you later on the Knuckle Busting Garage. Holy moly! Will you look at this? There's supposed to be 42 teeth on this sprocket. Uh-oh! Missing one there, missing one there, missing one there. Missing one there, missing one there. I'm missing 5 teeth. Holy moly! That's a new experience for me. I think it's time for a new sprocket. Good thing that, you know, you do work on your own bike or you don't notice stuff like that. That's crazy! I wonder how that happened. Is it just a crummy sprocket? What, did I hit a rock or something? I mean, if it's, the chain's like around this, you would think that the chain would be in bad shape too. I better check my chain. But holy moly, that's just odd, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's pretty common. Not to me, though. This is new territory for I've never had broken teeth before. Ouch. But that man needs to go to the dentist.
Okay.